Well, good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and start here today because about 10 minutes ago, Jane said, I think it's about time to start. So, what a wonderful group. We probably will have some people coming in late, so we'll just direct them to the open seats here. Before we begin, I want to say some things to our wonderful panel here. The layout of today, how this is going to work for today is, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then pretty quickly we're just going to open it up to the audience to let them ask whatever they want to ask. The title of this workshop is Alzheimer's from the Patient's Perspective. If you're up here and you don't have Alzheimer's, you have something else, don't worry about that. We had to give it a title, so we did the best we could with our title. So I really want to congratulate many of you. I've sat down and we've done interviews. And Betty and Carol, we have not sat down and done interviews. If you'd like to, I would love that, but I'm not going to press you on that. But I know from those interviews you all have a lot to say, and I just want to thank you for being so kind, considerate, and such brave souls to participate in all this. So I want everyone to give you a round of applause. If any question comes up today and you don't want to answer it, don't answer it. Don't worry about it. You don't have to answer. You can simply choose not to answer.
Fifth Amendment.
Fifth Amendment.
You've been there, huh?
And any of the questions, there is no right or wrong answer. We're all here to learn from you and your experiences, your feelings, first-hand accounts. So whatever you have to say, that is going to be the right answer. Okay? So, and then also, because we don't know what the questions will be, we're expecting a lot of open and frank discussion. We don't know what you have to say. It's possible that one of you on the panel might say something that really deeply affects someone else sitting on the panel, or something I say or the audience says, and you're left feeling, boy, I feel uncertain about that, what was said today, or I'm a little worried about what was said. And I would love to have a promise from each of you, if you walk away feeling angry or at all upset, that if you would promise to talk to me, come and express, this is what was said and this is how it made me feel, and I'm feeling a little upset or concerned. I would love to have that. If you don't feel you can talk to me, I really encourage you to talk to your spouse too. So please don't hold those kind of feelings inside and let them just fester. You all agree to that? I'm taking that all as a yes. All right, so maybe how we kick things off is maybe we'll start over here with Bud. Well, Bud's having some cookies, so let's with Carol. And Carol, maybe just to kick things off, if you just introduce yourselves and just say briefly who you are.
Okay, I'm Carol Guerra. I was diagnosed with short-term cognitive memory problem. I am trying to deal with that. My husband's been very supportive. I come to these Alzheimer's meetings, or the group meetings, because they're very helpful also. And you find that I'm trying to control and not go any further than where I am right now. And what else would you like to know?
That's excellent. Walt?
Good morning, I'm Walt, and like everybody else, I'm just in a different stage at the moment. I'm still in the kind of the embryo stage of this thing, and if it never gets any worse than that, fine with me. But the whole point is that we do have to deal with it, and the best thing that I have found is to keep a very positive attitude. I am not going to let this thing kick me in the teeth and then stomp all over me. Now, I may end up like that, but that's not the way I'm going to. And so I try to be very positive about it, and I get support at home that it's kind of hard to describe because it's a lot bigger than me. But, I hope that embarrasses you.
Not yet.
trouble. I am in big trouble. But in any case, coming here is a nice bridge. You know, it doesn't solve the problems, it just takes the dents out of it. And when you leave, I don't know, I've always left with a good feeling. Not that I've always agreed, but, you know, instead of taking this on for hours and hours, because if you ask my wife, I never shut up. But she's right. So, no, what I'm saying is that this is a good venue, because I can talk to people that know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the most important thing, you know. So with that, I'll pass.
Excellent, thank you, Walt. Betty?
My name is Betty Belovich, and Walt did a beautiful job. I'm not shy. He said everything and covered all the bases, so I'm going to pass it along.
Jack, and I agree with Betty. But I have one concern, one major concern, and that's my own caregiver. I can see what this illness does to her, and I'm sure it does the same thing to all others. And I'm not quite sure how to handle that. I don't think there's a solution for that. The other thing I'd like to say is to thank Clark and the staff for all they do for us. I don't think we can get this kind of help anyplace else close by. Thank you.
Jane.
I'm Jane Thompson. I'm married to Bill, sitting right here. And he's the best husband you could ever have. He's very kind, caring, does a lot of things that I don't like to do. If I postpone getting dinner, he'll get dinner. Anyway, I have a very happy life.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike?
Yes, I'm Mike McNicholas. I was diagnosed about 8 months ago, and so far I'm still able to walk and talk and remember where I live. But who knows how long that's going to last? So we'll just have to wait and see. And most of the people I see here today are people I've never seen before. So you must be the spouses of somebody or patients or something. And it's good to have people interested to find out about Alzheimer's and some of the other dementias that are upon us. The more people that know about it, the more people understand it, the better treatment I think the Alzheimer's patient and the other dementia people will get. And there's got to be a lot done. There's so many people involved with Alzheimer's, millions I understand. So I'm happy to be here. I thank the crew who have always done a wonderful job, Clark and Debbie, Mary Ann, and another lady that I met recently. They've all done marvelous jobs, and I thank them. And I'll pass it on.
Thank you, Mike.
So I'm Dave Kramer, and I was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease about 2 years ago now, at the age of 56. So I'm a little bit younger than typical, than typical for the disease. It obviously has a big impact, but like others have said, I am completely intent on enjoying the hell out of life and getting all I can out of it. I'm retired for ethical reasons, obviously, physician, and just trying to make the most of it. I think that this group is remarkable, this organization. Clark, thank you, and everyone else. Being in touch with others of like mind or of lack of like mind, I think is definitely helpful. I think maintaining a sense of humor about the whole thing is crucial. I see it a little bit as an obligation that I have to help educate others as to what's going on. I have sort of an unusual perspective being a physician, and I think it's really important to put in some of my time. I don't want to just be defined as a patient with Alzheimer's, but I do feel it's important to do what I can to help educate not only within our area and this organization, but outside it also. So I do put in some time with that also. I would be completely remiss if I didn't echo Jack, is that right? Yes, Jack's words with regard to the caregivers, because I speak from the same mindset as he was, in that there's just nothing that is a bigger concern or is more on our thoughts than the impact that this disease has on our spouse and the ones we love and so forth. So I think I'm very intent on doing whatever I can to minimize the difficulty that will likely come in the future for my wife, and we'll work hard to do that. So everyone should know that that is a big concern on our minds, and I think that in a lot of ways you almost become fixated on it at times because you don't want anyone else to be suffering because of what we're going through. But having said that, I'm doing well. We're having as much fun as we possibly can out of life, and I'm going to move it on to Bob.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I can add much to what everybody else here has said. I had a very wonderful life, have had a wonderful life and continue to have a wonderful life. But my wife sitting there, Barbara, is, I don't know, if she disappeared, I'm not sure what in the world I would do, especially at this point. It's hard for me to frankly explain and deal with the situations. I come from a very poor background. My father was an alcoholic and died when he was like 45 years old or so forth, and there's an awful lot of that. But my mother and and her sister, an older sister, and my sister, who is dead now, but they kind of basically moved me along and everything, and I never thought that I would end up with a doctorate of business administration. I never had intended to do any such thing. I didn't think I would ever even go to college, and I didn't go to college like most people do. I went to night school and worked during the day, and went to night school at the University of Cincinnati. That's where my home was. And the reality is things have gone along. We've had a wonderful life, and you know, I have no qualms about anything that we have done or what we have done. It was pure circumstance, but very much that my wife came into my life in an unusual, different kind of a way, and anybody who's been around her any length of time knows that you can't be around her without getting to know her extremely well. And she will tell you just about anything about me that you might want to know.